Well, hi again. Welcome to the lecture on the money and interest. Well, one thing you might have noticed is actually I have shaved. I was waiting the barbers to open to shave. However, recently I have learned they are just opening the barbers for haircut, not for shaving. So I decided to shave myself. So this is kind of natural me. Anyway. So today we will see the topic money and the banking system. This is our lecture. However, the lecture is basically on the we might also say the financial system, the way financial system is operating. And there actually we have banking system as one element maybe of the financial system, the way it functions. But the other element is money and how it functions. Well, its specific role inside of the economic system is also part of the uh, one thing we need to understand. We need to understand to be able to um, be able to well uh, understand the financial system itself also. And uh, well, uh, to this lecture series, I should say that is prepared for the Middlesex University Northern Cyprus campus. And this lecture series is also basically part of the introduction to economics course. Anyway, the first video is on the Federal Reserve, and where also see the one of the commodities goods that have served as money, basically gold. Uh, it's today's its role in, I mean, kind of the way it is traded and the way it is treated in the Federal Reserve, and then you also see the how actual money is printed and basically put into them uh, into use. Anyway, it's an interesting video, and it also has a second part. If you are interested, you can also watch that. If we had a lecture inside of the class, I would just let you watch the first part, but you are always welcome to watch the second part yourself anyway, basically. So as a starting point in this lecture, I want to tell you a little bit on the history of the money, so you can get a little bit of the background of the money also. About let me kind of, if possible, minimize this. I mean, this the space there, and then I also want to push it here so you can watch this side. Um, anyway, the background information. Well, the money initially. Well, there are different theories of money. However, uh, uh, it is sometimes considered as a tool which was actually serving uh, to make people borrow, well, buying power, borrow things from the other people uh, in the time they need uh, certain goods, especially food, and then pay back. So basically, especially at the time of famines, people needed um, to be able to purchase food, but then they also need to pay back. So money in the way we understand today is actually formed to pay that debt, give that debt, and pay that debt back. According to one idea, according to other idea, it is a tool to exchange other goods because basically you need to find if you want to sell a specific good, you need to find someone who needs that good, and basically uh, uh, also you need to find someone who has the good you need if you want to exchange the good you produce with the good someone else wants. Uh, but instead of doing that, you can get just a commodity everyone wants. So you can sell your commodity for that commodity that is wanted by everyone, and then you can use that commodity to buy to get the good you want, basically. which might not be the good everyone is wants. Anyway, this might be a little bit theoretic, but I think it will be very clear when I give the actual example. The earliest commodity that is used for money in recorded history, at least, as far as I know, I'm interested in the history. That's why I've studied this a little bit. Was grain. So basically, uh, you want to sell any kind of commodity that can be even metals, that can be clothing, that can be, for example, um, that can be specific luxurious foods, basically, or wooden goods that are produced, like cabinets, for example. Uh, well, you can easily accept food from other people because you know in the end you will need food. I mean, not the perishable food, but basically grain, something you can store, basically. And in return, you can use that grain to buy anything you want because everyone needs grain. So you instinctively accept grain because you always think you need food, but you also in time because everyone accept grain as a payment. Grain also becomes something people can use to buy other things. And basically, the temples were storing that grain so that they can distribute. They can basically lend that grain, give that grain to the villages and basically which experience an extraordinary drought, for example, to make those villages to survive. That way, those villages will also become dependent to the city where that temple is located. Uh, so, in that sense, actually, this giving the grains and taking the grains back becomes a form of first debt giving debt. And it's more or less the same. I mean, it's not drought, but something else makes you not be able to earn sufficient amount of money to survive. So for a period when you are experiencing this hardship, you borrow money from the banking system. So it's very similar to the case in the ancient Sumerian empire, or not empire, city states. I'm sorry. Um, so in nomadic societies, cattle sometimes was used as a form of money. And by the way, wool and linen, the traditional inputs of the cloth making, were also had some function of money. However, later the metals become more dominant form because even the most non-perishable goods were perishing. Even grain could perish. I mean, decay basically. And certainly wool can, certainly kettles can, for example. And they are not infinitely divisible also. And in times, especially in the cities where they were abundant, their values were not that much. So in order to buy certain things, you need a lot of grain. While metals were, at least some of them, were in high demand. And they were easily divisible. You can create any small or large forms of it. And uh, so those are the main things. They were divisible, and they don't perish. Also, I mean, uh, they also survive if it is not oxidized. But you should make sure that it's not oxidized. Earliest metals that were especially valuable were well, two of them are still valuable: gold and silver. One of them is now not that valuable. That's iron, because iron processing was difficult in early times. So in Bronze Age you had iron, but that iron was very rare metal, so it was also very valuable at the time. As iron processing became easier and cheaper, and there was more abundant amounts of iron, the value of iron started to plummet. So it's interesting. I mean, if someone finds a abundant gold reserve so that it can flood the world with gold, probably the value of gold will also fall basically. Uh, so Initially, people were have actually creating their own gold and silver pieces and iron pieces to trade. There were even in the early times certain people who basically producers who stamp pieces. They say this piece is as this weight, for example, but those were not complete guarantees. So you could simply cheat with that sign. So they were just that sign is as trustable as the person from whom you get money and from where he got not the money, the metal, and from where he or he get them, probably not she, get the metal. There were some female craftsmen and merchants who do active trading, but trading in crafts business, but their numbers were not that much. So probably the person is a he, not she. The first coins were produced, as you might know, in today's Western Turkey, Lydia, Lydian Kingdom. That was the name at the time. And the main logic of those coins were you take a coin, you weight them, you also look at and try to weight its composition. You know, a certain amount of gold is in it, the impurities are limited, and then you stamp that coin. After you stamp that coin, in the name of the king of Lydia, now you guarantee that coin has a certain weight and that coin has a certain composition. Well, and if I have a gold coin, I could bring it to the Lydian king. He could produce those coins, but he takes part of those coins for himself because of the work he has done in, of production of those coins. And that part is called seigniorage. I mean, the right of the seigneurs. That name comes from the feudal era, because the same process was also happening there at that time. The feudal lords were getting at that time the money. And basically, this was at first how the coins were produced, and later when Persian Empire has invaded, Persia has also continued the process. Several city-states in the Greek city in the Greek world have also produced their own coins. Byzantium, Istanbul, for example, produced its coin, and it has interestingly this crescent and star in itself, very much like the Turkish flag, only star and crescents are a little bit more closer. That symbol is actually a symbol of a Greek god, Hecate, who was patron god of Byzantium. Persians also did the minting coin business, production of coins. And even they are not only the Persian emperor, but also the governors given the permission to print, at least as far as I know, silver coins. And one thing is, do I have a coin? Let's see. If I have, that would be a wonderful thing. I have. So, when you have a coin, usually chances are high. On this side, you have it's not smooth. You feel there are actually teeth in the coin. Why are those teeth there? Because when people had when people were early minting coins, the tradesman, the craftsman was taking the coin and they were slicing a thin part from the coin so that they have a thin amount of a small amount of metal for themselves, and they can still use coin with its full value. And in time, of course, that those metals accumulate and they become important. So in order to prevent that, they produce these teeth. So you basically you cannot reproduce these teeth once you have taken that metal out of the coin. Anyway, so this is how basically the first coins were built. Now we will see how the banknotes are built and how banking system in full sense was created. We will see that in the next part.